So this is lesson 2.4 problem set examples for division of fractions. So I'm just going to jump right down to ones like the harder ones, like, well, let's look at number 31. We've got 2/3 times 3/4, and then we're going to divide that by 5/8. Okay, so first step you're going to do is get rid of the division. That's always going to be your first step. So we're going to write that the same. We're going to change that to a times, and we're going to flip it over. The second number, or the last number, we're going to flip it over. You're always going to flip over to the right of the division sign. Or if it's written like this, you're going to make a times and take this and flip it over. Okay? So that is the rule to doing those. And then we just start canceling away. So let's make this 2/3. We're going to leave this a 4, and this will start getting to where you understand, and it comes pretty easy as far as how to break these how to break these numbers into its factors. So instead of 2 times 2 times 2, I left it 2 times 4 because I see that's 4 there, and I can cancel that with that one. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that 4 with that 4, and that 3 with that 3, and then I'm going to multiply my top, and my 5 is all that I have left down there, and I'm done. Okay, this one here is number 46. A little bit crazy here, so let's just change everything to fractions. So I'm going to put that over 1 and that over 1. First thing I'm going to do is square that and square that. So 64 over 1, I'm going to leave my division sign here and just do one piece at a time. 64, 8 times 8 is 64, 11 times 11 is 121, plus 81 over 1 divided by 9 over 11 squared. 9 times 9 is 81, and 11 times 11 again is 121. Now remember, I don't cross this line here because of that plus sign. So let's go ahead and make it into a multiplication. So I'm going to invert, and I'm going to leave this 81. I'm going to invert. Okay, first thing I notice is crossing those two out and crossing those two out. Now notice I did not cross the plus sign. I just took this and this and this and this. And that leaves me with a 121 over here, and a plus, and a 121 over here, and I just add those together, and I'm done. So the key thing doing problems like this here that are a little bit tricky, that look really complicated, is just do one little piece at a time. Follow the PEMDAS rules. Remember what's in the parentheses, what's in the exponents, then do the multiplication and division from left to right, and then last do the addition and or subtraction from left to right. So that's what we did. We started out with our parentheses, and what did the parentheses do? It had exponents, so we squared, and then we multiplied or divided. It says divide here, but when we inverted it, turned it into multiplication. We did that, and then the last thing we did was we added. So we just followed this thing here and did one little step at a time in order to get those. Now let's try one last one. Let's look at number 50. It says if the answer to the division problem of 50 and 5/3, so if it says the answer to, if we were to divide these, 50 and 5/3, and we were to take that answer, so I'm going to put that in parentheses because I'm looking for just the answer to that when I do 50 divided by 5/3, and I increase it by 8. They want to know what the number is. So again, I'm doing it in the parentheses first, so I'm going to first of all change this to a multiplication and flip those over, leave it in parentheses here till I get the answer, and I'm going to write this as 10 times 5 And let's put it over 1. So I'm going to write 50 as 10 times 5. And the reason I did that is because I see that there's a 5 in the denominator here. So I'm going to do some canceling. So then I cancel this with this, and I'm left with 10 times 3 is 30 over 1, which means it's just 30. And now I can add 8 to it and get 38. Okay, so that's some problems from section 2.4.